Okay, so real quick, underneath this level, we are bearish. So this is our indication that sellers hopped in here, that buyers were not aggressive like it was last time. Buyers were aggressive last time and pushed price higher, right? As you can see, it tried, but sellers overpowered them and pushed price, creating a lower low, lower than this low right here. So this gave us our first change in the state of delivery or market structure shift, right? So now we need our correction, right? We're in the 1 hour time frame. So we wait for price to correct back. I don't give a fuck if it takes 2 years to correct back. I'm not taking any buys up to this level. We are in a downtrend. So let's just take a sell so we can stay with the trend. Because again, I believe that price is just going to do the same thing, right? We have our indication below this level, price is retracing, and then we should get the sell off of this and go lower, right? So what do we have next? We have our correction. Josh, what's going on, bro? And then we have our continuation, which is, this long ass leg down, right? And ICC, again, our continuation means it's going with the continuation of the trend, right? That is what continuation means, right? We could also call it displacement, right? There's different things you call it, but for now, we're going to call it continuation, right? So, again, you already see the head and shoulders perfectly. Like, this might be the clearest head and shoulders I've ever seen my entire life. Ever. Right? So, that is what we wait for. Right? So, we could pick another asset and just do the same exact thing. Right? We see that we're in a downtrend. Right? We have our higher high right here. And then we get what? A lower high. And then we get another lower high. And then we get another lower high, right? So we already see that we're in a downtrend, right? And then again, if you guys really want confirmation, well, not confirmation, don't, if you guys need to see this, right? Anytime you're making lower highs, you have to be making lower lows. That's just market structure. That is how the market works. You can't make higher lows. You can't make lower lows without making lower highs, right? The market would just be going sideways if it's not, right? So we want to see the market doing a pattern, right? So we are getting lower lows, we are getting lower highs. So we know that we're in a downtrend, right? So what are we waiting for? We're waiting for price to get to a level to show us a correction, right? So as you can see, we know that we're bearish underneath this level, right? Price comes back to it. It gets on top, right? But it doesn't hold, right? It ends up coming back and it doesn't hold. So now that we know that sellers were buying, kicking in right here, right? So let's go down to our lower time frame so we get to analyze what is really going on. And again, this is why we would have never took this trade, right? We're already in a downtrend, right? We still have our lower highs. Right? So we do get a break right here, right? It's in the 15-minute time frame. In the 1 hour, do we get a break? Right? Our last structure, yes, we do get a break, right? So that probably would have threw a lot of people off, to be honest, right? But at the end of the day, I'm going to show you why we wouldn't get thrown off. So we make this lower high right here. So once we come back, this is our indication, right? This right here, we stopped underneath this high right here off of this, right? So I'm waiting for price to create another higher high above one of our structured highs. So again, it probably would have threw most people off. So it is a hard example to kind of get into. But, right, anytime prices decide to go higher, we need a first market structure shift. And then we need a break of structure just to give us clarification that price wants to go higher, right? We get the first market structure shift here, but we don't get a break of structure. So we know price doesn't want to go higher. So we wait for price to come back down, right? So we have our indication, we have our correction, but as you can see, price doesn't, remember, what is this? What's our support level called when we're in our support level? What's going on, Perk? I didn't even see it. Did you take this trade? No, I did not take this trade. I ended up catching it a couple of days ago. Oh, sorry. I ended up catching it off of this right here. But I'll show you why though. But again, I almost took this trade, but I honestly just got lucky only because I was waiting for a price to create another higher high and then get my retracement, and it never did. It made a lower high right here. So I'm already in my thinking that this is come back for a correction. I wasn't looking at this as my indication, correction, continuation. I was looking at this as my indication. You know what I'm saying? Because again, if I draw my support level right here, and I'll show you why. Now look, right? So this is our support level, right? So these lower highs are wrong, right? They were just wrong on our book, right? Because again, if we go to the 4-hour, look, right? We have our lower high right here, right? That's not a lower high, right? We have our significant lower highs right here. We have our high, a lower high right here, a lower high here, a lower high here. So it's make sure you're marking your charts correctly on a higher time frame so you don't take these little ones that don't matter. You see what I'm saying? And that is how you don't get manipulated, is because we know this is the last lower high right here. If we were in like the 30-minute, we would have counted these as lower highs and we would have got manipulated, right? So make sure you go to the 4-hour time frame, right? Even the 2-hour, maybe, let's see. Yeah, you could do the 2-hour too, but just make sure you're doing a higher time frame. It really makes a big difference. Remember, higher time frames are direction. We want to know where the direction of the overall trend is going, right? So as you guys can see, this is our lower high. This is its support level right here. So we don't want to see price come above this level, right? Price comes down, right? Starts to make its correction back up here, right? So we know anything underneath this level is bearish. So now again, we have our resistance that was right here. So now we just want to see price get back underneath this level, because we know, again, this is our first indication. We make a lower low. If we get underneath this level, sellers are here and present, and they're going to make a lower low, which they do, right? They make a lower low. So we know underneath this level, we should be very bearish. This level is indecisive, right? This level is clear as day that we are very bearish. So now we just go to the 15-minute time frame, and we have to find a way to get in, right? So what do we want to do? If this is our support level, we want price to break underneath of it. So now it gives us our indication that price is bearish underneath this level. Once it comes back up and doesn't make a higher high, which it doesn't right here, right? It makes a lower high. Okay, so this is again where market structure comes in handy. Look, this is why it's so important, guys. Please, it's so important. Right? We get a higher high, we get a higher high, we get a higher high. Right? So what has to happen in order for price to continue in this pattern, right? We have a pardon me, let's do it. We got a higher low, right? We got a higher low, right? So what has to happen in order for trend to continue or for trend to change? In order for trend to continue, we have to print another higher low and then a higher high. Did we get that? No, we got a lower high, right? So let's draw it out. We got a lower high right there, right? And then what else did we get? If I draw this out real quick, this is our last low right here. We got a break, right? We got a change. We got market structure shift, right? Market was bullish. Now it's turning bearish. We got a lower high. We got another lower high, right? So what are we waiting for? We're waiting for price to get underneath this level, which is our support level, our resistance level of this orange box. Once price gets underneath of it, we want this to turn into resistance. We don't want price to go above it, right? So again, I'll go back down to a lower time frame, go into like the 5 minute or the matter of fact, honestly, I don't even take trades in the 5 minute no more. I was starting to, but I get so many better entries in the 1 minute, and I'm gonna show you why. Now look how precise I can actually be now. Watch. Right? Because I'm going to take all of this stuff off of the screen real quick just to give you an understanding. Right? I'm going to draw it out with just basically how I would draw it out with just a few um, candles. Right? I mean with just a few drawings, sorry. Where the hell were we? Did I just fuck this up? Hold on. Right here, this was at 8:19 at 9:30 a.m. Right? So, matter of fact, I don't have to do all that. I'm just gonna do it like this. Fuck it. Ready? So basically, I'm just gonna take this box off. We know that this is our breakup structure right here, market structure shift. I mean, right? So we know if we get an indication below, right, taking these lows, right, which we do right here. So now all I'm doing is waiting for price to get back underneath of my levels. So, right, we have a resistance level right here, right? We have a support level right here, right? Why is this support? Because of this right here, right? Price couldn't go below it, right? So once we go below it, come back up, make another higher low, make a lower low. I want price to hold at this level. So once price touches this, I'm taking my entry only because the higher time frames allow me to know that these highs are never going to be broken. This is the last level of highs. So short position, I'm literally taking off of the tick, right? I'm aiming back down for this low, putting my stop loss up at this high. This is a 10 RR, and as you can see, we do come back and forth a little bit, but I do get the trade, and we actually get a whole lot more than that, right? And we can continue into this, right? But that is how, again, lower time frames, to me, you literally get to see every fucking move, and you get to, be as precise as possible. You know what I mean? And again, if you were scared to take this trade, where else do we take our trade, right? When price gets underneath this support level and stays below it, right? So we get a rejection here, but price comes back up. It comes down, right? It comes up and taps this level right here, right? So this is also an A plus entry right there, right? Just remember that. Anytime price, if you draw again, why is my support here? Look at all these touches, right? This is called a minor level support. I'm dead ass can't remember the last time I marked out a breakup structure much. Yeah, I don't either. It just some people I had a one-on-one with, and they, they wanted me to kind of show them, like to mix just so they could understand because sometimes they don't see it and they wanted me to show it to them. So I don't even use that shit, but it's just so for some other people. That's kind of really right? Because they have been using ICT for so long that they are like stuck into that. So I'm trying to allow them to see that this overlaps, that you don't need to use breakup structures and market structure shifts. All you need to do is use our support and resistance levels. That's all I see, bro. Yeah, exactly. So, but again, I like to use our minor levels, bro. I realized that this was a minor level, so I want price to get back underneath this level, right? So once price gets underneath this level and it tests it, I want to take my trade. You know what I mean? Again, you could even done it right here. Look, this is a support level right here. Price gets underneath this level. You could have took the trade right here as well, right? But your stop loss has to be a little bit bigger, which sucks, right? Or you could put it above this right here because we definitely don't want price to come back up to this support level. You know what I mean? And then you would literally look. You see what I'm talking about? Look, You guys see, bro? I swear I'm a shark. I didn't even realize this. Look, these. Oh fuck. We would have took this trade right here, and we, like I just said, we want to put our stop loss above this level right here. And what does price do? It comes and retaps that level, right? And then we melt to the downside, and we just continue melting, right? So again, how do we? So I'm just gonna go into this again real quick. Look, let's take this off real quick, right? Let's mark out our levels. We got our support right here. We got our resistance right here, right? Let's mark out our minor levels. We got a minor level of resistance right here. We got a minor level of support right here, right? So all we need to do is know that underneath support is sellers, right? So now this is my first indication that price wants to go lower. This is my correction, and then this will be my continuation, right? And then we get it again. We got our indication, correction, continuation, indication, correction, continuation, right? So that is all I'm waiting for. I want price to do exactly what it's doing every fucking time. I just want it to break a level, go lower, make a lower low, come back up, make a higher low, a lower high, and then make a lower low, right? And then make a lower high, and then make a lower low, make a lower high, make a lower low. You see what I'm saying? That is called market structure. And then again, same shit. Look, this is our support level. This is my indication that we're bearish underneath this level. Price comes back to it. We tap into it. We take our entry off of that. And let's bet it's a fib level. Who wants to bet it's a fib level? Told you. Told you. Fucking on the money. Yeah, the levels definitely help, bro. They really fucking do. Right? But look, fib level 7. It's OTE to the maximum, guys. Like, it couldn't get much better than that, bro. It really can't. You would have got, what? 6R? Stop loss at the bottom of 786. Take profit right here. You got an ARR. Right? Super easy. And look how long this took. You caught this trade at 2 p.m. and you got an ARR at 3:15. Right? Or yeah, at 3 o'clock we would have took it at 2:58 and took profit at 3:15. Right? So 45-minute trade. Super smooth, super easy, super quick. That's why I do a lot of scalping recently, because it's just super easy, gang. It's super easy. Especially in our strategy. Dang, gold is just consolidating right now, bro. I wonder if my take profit was hit. Okay, I'm still in profit. I'm closing this trade. I'm only in profit like $1,200 with 40 lots. That's how fucking horrible this is. Yeah, I'm about to start. Listen, I was just about to say that. I'm about to start doing micros only because I want to start taking profit whenever. You know what I mean? If I'm in a trade here and I'm in one mini, I can't take profit. But if I have 10 minis, 10 micros, I could, I could wait for price to come down, make a level, take my profit, and then allow my runners to run. What do you mean? Right here, bro. Instead of trading gold at a GC1, just trade MGC, right? We're just going to start trading this and just use, right? If you see tick value, right? You know that gold futures, right? Minis, right? One mini is $10 per tick, right? So micros, right? 10 micros is what? $10 per tick. So I'm about to start trading, 15 to 30 micros, and then I'll be able to take off, 5 at a time or 2 at a time or whatever the fuck that you want to do. But that's what I'm about to start doing, guys. I'm about to start doing that only because I want to start taking profit and allowing. Oh, you want to go from? I'm about to stop. Oh, I never did minis before. Only reason I was thinking about doing minis because my two profit amount gets hit way faster. Yeah, again, that's what you got. Again, I told you guys in the Discord. Find that edge that works for you. So how to do this in Trade Locker? Trade Locker is the same way, bro. All you do is hit edit. So watch. Let me go to my prop firm account. Uh, Can you guys see that or no? That's not it. Can you guys see Trade Locker or no? You see my Trade Locker account? No? Alright, hold on, hold on. So now, if you're in Trade Locker, it's just the same thing, right? Let's get off of this one. Let me go to this one. So now what you're doing, let's just say that, I think I woke up earlier, I was going through 30 micros, and if I did 1 mini, I would woke up to 3K. So you just got to make sure you're doing the right, if you're doing micros, right, 10 micros is 1 mini. So it's the same amount of points, same amount of everything, right? So if you're doing that, just make sure that you're doing it that way. Right, so if you're in Trade Locker, let me close this position because this shit is negative pretty bad. Oh, matter of fact, look, here we go. Let's just say I'm in a trade, right? Over here, it says action, edit, right? So I hit edit. Hold on, no, that's not it. Hold on, discard. So right here, look, it says partial close. Hit partial close, right? I'm in a position right now for 40 lots. And then let's just take off 10 lots, hit close. And now I'm in a position for 30 lots. And now if I want to take off another 10 lots, I hit partial close. And then I take off, 20 lots. You know what I mean? It's super easy. Trade Locker, that's why I love Trade Locker. It's so fucking easy, gang. You just do what you want to do. Like, it allows you to take partials. That's all you do. Right? You see, you come down here, hit position, come over here, it says partial close, click it. You don't need, you're trading what's the name? You're never gonna trade minis and micros. You're trading lots. So it doesn't matter, right? Just remember this. One lot is 1 mini. That's it. Right? So you're not really worried about it. If I tell somebody we're trading 1 mini, right, that means you're trading 1 micro. Yeah, you could use Trade Locker anywhere. You just gotta make sure you have the right broker, right? Gates FX is a broker that I use, right? But that's it. You're trading micro lots, bro. So lots. So basically, lots are based. Minis contracts are basically lots. That's all they are. But instead of saying that we're trading 1,000, because like one, okay, like watch. Let me see if I can show you. No, don't say it. Contract size. Here we go. Look, contract size 10. Right. So we're trading micros. Right. So one contract is 10 units. Right. So that would be one lot. Right. One contract. Right. So again, if you trade one lot, that means you're moving at $1 per tick. If I'm trading one micro, I'm trading one micro, that's $1 per tick. So you don't need to worry about minis versus micros. I mean, you're trading futures. I mean, you're trading FX, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter whatsoever. The only difference between minis and micros is the leverage for futures. If I want to trade on like a live future account to trade one mini gold, I need $50 in my account. To trade one micro of gold, I need $500 in my account. Right? So that's the difference between minis and micros is the size position. That's like going to that's like again coming back to Trade Locker, right? If you trade, let me close this position because this is well my shit. If you're trading fucking SPX and you trade SPX mini, right? You're gonna be able to get more lots if you trade SPX mini because right the lot sizes are bigger, right? Let's see. Look, Forex indices, right? Let's do NAS, right? So with 1,600 bucks, I could only trade. I can't even trade one lot, right? With NAS, I can't even trade one lot because it's so heavy. But if I go to indices mini and I do NAS, look, I could trade fucking 40 lots. You know what I mean? I could trade fucking 80 lots. No, I can't. We could trade 70. No, I can't. We could trade 65 lots, 66 lots. You see what I'm saying? So it's only the size of the contract. That's the only difference. So you don't have to worry about minis and micros if you're trading FX. It means nothing to you. Does that make sense? Yeah, so yeah, you don't gotta worry about that. You're trading micros. You're trading lots. So yeah, you don't have to worry about that shit. Here we go. We got the drop and finally up in profit again, around 6K. But yeah, so just don't even worry about micros and minis, bro. Whenever we talk about micros and minis, just dismiss it. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean shit. If you're trading FX, just think about it as lots, right? You're trading lots. It's just a unit of measurement, right? Again, we could be trading lots if fucking, because again, realistically, one contract, one unit is 10 contracts, right? On micros, right? On gold, one unit is 100 contracts, right? So basically, it's doing the conversion for us. That is the difference between futures and FX, is that it's doing the conversion for us, right? Because if you go to lots, like watch this, ready? How many units are in one lot size in FX? Look, one standard lot is 100,000 units. You see what I'm saying? Standard lot size, mini lot size is 10,000 units. Micro lot size is 1,000 units, right? So that is the difference. Look, if you're trading 0.1 lots, that means you're trading 100,000 euros. You know what I mean? So just remember that. It means it's just the contract measurement because, like, for instance, watch. Look, if we trade Euro USD, matter of fact, let's pick a different one. If we trade, look at the price scale. It's 0.64 of a dollar, right? So how do we make money if price goes from here to here? You're not even making sense. Look, this is 64 cents right now, right? So price is only moving up by what, 1/10, 100,000, by 100,000 of a fucking penny, right? So price doesn't even move 100,000 of a penny, and we're making thousands of dollars. That is the difference, right? That is why they have lots, because they want to be able to use all of these extra numbers so we could over leverage to make a lot of money. When, like, again, just imagine this: if you're trading stocks and you're at $100 per stock, right, and price goes to 120 bucks, I only made $20 if I trade stocks, right? Because that's how stocks work. You only make $1 for however many, wherever you bought it at, and however money goes up, that's how much money you make. So if you bought it for $100 and it went to 120, you only make 20 bucks. Now, if we're doing futures and it goes from $100 to $120, we're getting $10 per tick, right? So for every dollar increment, we're getting $40. So do 40 times 20, which is $800, right? So in a $20 move, we're getting $800 in day trading, right? Futures. And if we're doing lot sizes, right, we are getting $1 per lot, right? So there's 100 pips in every point. Every point is $1 movement, right? So 100 pips. So if you're getting a 20-point move, if you're getting a 20-point move, do 20 times 100. That's how many points or pips that you're getting, and then times that by how many lots you have. So if you're trading one lot, two lots, three lots, do that times however many pips that you just how many points you just earned. right? That's how they do it. So because again, we can't make money because price is not even moving at a penny at a time. It's not even moving like literally. Like if I go, let's go to the daily or let's go to the monthly time frame real quick. Look, the highest price has ever been was back in 2010, and it was $1.10, and now we're at 62 cents, right? So out of fucking 20 years, prices only moved less than 50 cents. You know what I mean? So how would you make money if they didn't allow us to use lot sizes, right? You would only made in this move fucking 50 cents. Took you 10 years to make 50 cents. So that's why lot sizes were introduced so you can make a lot of money and only and when basically price doesn't fluctuate at all, right? Price goes from 62 cents to 62 cents and fucking 2400. You know what I mean? So it's like price didn't even fucking make a difference, but we're able to capitalize on it. That's the only difference. Okay. What the fuck just happened? I was about to say this is the yearly. I'm like, but you see this, guys? Like, this is another reason why. Like, look at gold, bro. Look at this fucking parabolic fucking curve, bro. Like, I couldn't imagine. I wish I got into trading when I was younger, bro. Because, like, imagine buying gold in 2022 and then taking it now. Like, you would be a mega millionaire, bro. This is 15. Like, let's just do the math real quick, right? Like, just imagine these brokers that fucking are literally been trading for the last 50 years. This is $100,000 move with one contract. Just imagine these guys, these brokers that are doing 40,000 contracts, right? That's fucking $5 billion, and that's like honestly nothing, guys. There's a firm that I was just looking into, and these guys are doing like $4 or $5 billion a quarter just by trading because they understand what is going on. They understand risk. They understand parabolic curves. They understand the trend, right? They're the ones that set the trend. They're the ones that have the power and the money to move the market, right? So, what realization did you have to make this game finally click? Really was not wanting to work a 9 to 5, not wanting to go to work and fucking bust my ass to come home and have to tell my kids, hey, you want that new PlayStation game? I can't give it to you right now. I have to wait till I get paid. Like, who wants to fucking tell their kids like, no, I can't get you that right now because we have to wait till we get paid? Like, what? And I can come to trading and fucking print money. Like again, I just be putting a lot of money in these little ass accounts. You know what I mean? Like I have a $4,000 account. I have my big account that you guys seen, and then I did another a $300 account because I want to see how much like where's my lowest and how much I could grow it. So I do have multiple accounts, right? So right now I'm gonna trade on one of my smaller accounts. We started at $2,000. I am up $800 on the day, right? So we are growing that account right now. Like you guys can see, I'm up 724 off a gold trade right now. And as you can see in the 30-minute, look, we have traction. Look, we just rejected this level. We are getting lower highs, guys. Look, we're gonna print a lower low as long as we break this level right here. We're gonna go print a lower low, right? You feel me? So trading, honestly, it's just put in that time. No one's gonna get profitable in fucking 4 months, 3 months. I'm not saying you can't. But most people get profitable after around a year of grinding, which again, it's average. You're not gonna go to college for fucking 6 months and then come out with $100,000 job. I mean, you didn't even get a degree yet. So get a degree in losing money. You have to get a degree in losing, right? That's how you make. That's how you get back. That's how you learn, right? Nobody wants to be a loser, right? You want to learn, right? So you have to learn from your mistakes. If you're somebody that's not learning from their mistakes and trying to get better and trying to find an edge in the market, like the Fibonacci, there's nowhere online that you're going to find the Fibonacci retracement the way that I use it. There's nobody online. If you could go find them, I'll fucking pay you $100. There's nobody online that's using the fib the way I do, right? So what did I do? I found the fib level that works for me, and then what did I do? I went back and back tested for years to try and make sure that my trading strategy has an edge in the market. Once my strategy showed it has an edge, and then I realized that this is something that can be profitable, right? Once I understood how to manage my risk, and then that is the big part. You have to understand how to manage your risk. If you're not managing your risk well, yeah, you got to. But if you're not managing your risk well, you're never going to make money, right? When I first started trading and I was using Top Step, I literally touched $20,000 in 4 days, and guess how much I was at? Guess how much money I had? I was at dead ass break even. I would make 2,000 and then I would lose 2,000, and then I would lose 1,000 and I'll make 1,000, and then I'll make 4,000. Pardon me, and then I'll make another like 2,500, and then I'll lose like 5,000, right? So I was always going back and forth, and after 4 days, it shows you like if I go to my Top Step, do you know how it shows you like how much money you have made and then how much money you have lost? It said that I had made $10,000 and I lost $10,000. So I touched a total of $20,000 in 4 days, and my account was break even, right? Because do you know why? I wasn't managing my risk. I would go up like $2,000 on the day, and then I would keep trading, and I would lose 2,000, and then I'll win another 2,000, and then I'll lose 1,000. So now I'm up 1,000 on the day, and then I would come back into trading, and I was like, okay, I have a equity. I don't have an equity drawdown. I have a day drawdown, so I could go down 1,500 on the day, take another trade, go up 1,500, lose another 1,500, and I'm still at break even, right? So I was just going ping pong and break even back and forth. And then I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, why can't I go farther? And then I just realized that every single time I would make $1,000 trade, I was taking a $1,500 loss. I was taking a $1,800 loss. You feel what I'm saying? If I was making $3,000, I was doing a $2,500 loss. So my losses were just as big as my wins. So I can never go nowhere, right? So that is why I tell you guys, like for instance, right here, we know that this level is going to reject. So how about you just take, I have one rundown since this account so far. Yeah, see, that's good, right? So this, we know price is going to reject this level. So let's just get it at the apex so we can have a super tight stop loss, right? Because again, if we wait for price to get lower and give us so many indications, and then you're going to be stuck with a huge stop loss. So you have to risk more money to make a certain amount of money. You know what I mean? So that is why for me, I wait, because again, like right here, we know price is gonna reject this level if we stay in the trend. So the minute price touches this level, most of the time I'm just taking the sell, and that's why I top tick everything, is because I know this strategy works. I already showed you guys in the Discord, out of fucking 700 trades. Let's go. Let me go look at it one more time. History for the last 6 months, right? I have a total of 240 trades per week, right? Longs and short. Where the fuck is it at? Where the fuck did it go? Where's my win ratio? Okay, here we go. My max consecutive wins was 202 wins consecutive, right? So, and I have right now. Where's my win rate? Where the fuck did this go? Why is it doing this to me? Okay, my win rate right now is 72%. You know what I mean? Out of 725 trades, I made 202 in a row, right? So I know my strategy is proven. So I'm not going to sit here and question it. I'm not going to say, well, I don't know if this level is going to hold. Fuck that. I know this level is going to hold. It's proven it to me. You feel what I'm saying? It has proven it to me. So I'm not going to question it. If it doesn't hold, and then that means that means that the trend has changed, right? So that is why we trade ICC, is because we have an indication that trend is continuing. We have the pullback, which has to happen because that's called a balanced market, right? It's called a correction in the market, and then we get our continuation to make it lower low. That's how trends work, right? If this level is broken, which is really this level, this last high right here, well, we could draw it out to this from this candle right here, right? This breaker, right? So we know if price goes below this fucking, damn, it's crazy, it's so important. But if we go above this, and then the trend has changed, so we know we go with the trend. And as you can see, it fucking works. Bro, it literally, look. Like, I can't even tell you how many times it works, guys. It works so, look, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, right? This is 4, this is 5. So this is 5 times in a row that this trend has worked. Are we dropping right now? What the fuck is DAX? What is that? Oh, you're talking about the German index. Let me go check it out. Alright, so let's go to the 4-hour real quick. And as you can see, we are in an uptrend. Right, we're creating higher highs. Right, we were in a downtrend. This level right here should have pushed price lower, but it didn't. It acted as a shelf. Price came up, creating a higher high. It came right back down to this level. Look, you guys see why levels are so fucking important? Look, support, it broke it, turned it into resistance. Oh, pardon me. It was support. It was supposed to be resistance if we were in a downtrend. It didn't. It turned it right back into support. We take our entry and we go higher, right? So right now we are still in a uptrend, right? We have our level right here, right? So I want to see price reject off of this to carry higher, and as you can see, that's kind of what we're doing. But I would like to get more clarification. Yeah, guys, look, we have our higher highs. Price came back. So now I'm taking that trade, bro. There's no reason for me not to. Right? Our 6, hold on. This is the candle that gave us our push. Right? Our 618 level was tapped into. So I'm expecting DAX to come up here. Gave us another higher high. Right? And then again, if it doesn't, and then we don't fucking care. We don't care. All we know is if it doesn't, we want price to get underneath this level. Once we get underneath this level, we will get our minor support levels. We'll wait for price to break it, and then we'll take our sells. Right? But we don't care. We don't give a fuck what price does. We don't give a fuck if we take, did you show me the fine entries in 1 minute? Yeah. Right? So we don't care if we lose trades, bro. We don't. But we don't lose often because our strategy is very, very sharp, bro. As long as you're using it correctly, it's almost, again, I've just showed you. I wish I could show you guys my win rate before I started on ICC. Right? Again, I was still doing great, don't get me wrong. But my win rate was only around 40%. You know what I mean? So now it's at 71, and I never believed it would have got that high. I honestly did not believe that. Out of 700 trades, that is insane to me. I'm not gonna lie, because that's a lot. That's a lot of data, right? You want around 1,000 trades to get your actual true average of what your strategy is doing, and I'm almost at 1,000 trades. So now I really am like I'm probably over 1,000 with all of my accounts, but just to see that I'm at this level just realize like really puts it into perspective that this strategy is fucking insane, gang. Right? If we break this support level, guys, look what's going on. If we break this support level, there is nothing. Look, we have our resistance level is right here. Price got underneath of it. If we go down to a lower time frame, you'll get to see. Right? This was our support level. What did price do? Look, bro. Look. This is why you have to understand market structure, right? Look what we're doing. We're creating higher highs, and then what happens, guys? We start to create lower highs, and we start to create lower lows, right? We break this right here, so we break this support right here. So we're realizing that price wants to go lower. This is the last downward candle, right? So we realizing price wants to go lower, right? So what we do, we draw out our support. We draw out this support right here, and as you can see, price gets underneath of it, and we make a lower low. right? So price comes above it, but it says, nah, I don't want to go any higher. It still makes a lower high, right? Lower high. And then all we're doing is waiting for price to get back underneath this level. Once price got underneath this level, you're taking your sell and you're just going to put your stop loss up here. And as you can see, we're about to dump. We're about to dump. We're coming down here, bro, guarantee. I don't see us going any higher yet, right? Again, if we just do some bullshit and we literally just bounce off of these levels, and then that would be some bullshit. But I don't see that happening because of the higher time frame. There's no resistance. Look, in the higher time frame, if it breaks this level, where's the next level of resistance? There is none, right? So that again, you have to understand we are getting higher lows. Yeah, lower highs, right? So we're have to get lower lows. Where's price resisting? Right here. So we need price to break this level, and then you're at a free fall. The next level of liquidity is here, right? What time is this? 6 a.m. So matter of fact, actually the next level of liquidity is right here, which it doesn't matter, right? This is still a great fucking trade, right? And then we can target these lows because we know if price is going to continue in this 4-hour trend, it has to make a lower low. It has to, right? It has to. We are making lower lows. So what happens next? Look, do you see this real quick? This was our high right here. Price came down, it came up a little bit higher. We came to this level right here, and then we go higher, right? So what did price do? Price broke this right here, but we didn't break this one, right? So that's the same thing. Price broke this one, but we didn't break this significant one. And then we make our lowest low. And as you can see, we make a lower low lower than this right here. So I'm expecting price to come down and make another lower low. And then I'm expecting price to come back and retrace to this level, right? So I'm expecting this. And then we work our way back this way, right? So that is kind of what I'm expecting gold to do. If we get liquidity and make this lower low, we're gonna have to retrace back to this level right here, which is the support. Again, it also depends on how low this goes, because if this goes super fucking low, and then we may not come up, that we may come up to this level right here. Right? So we may just come down to these lows, which honestly it just depends. But guys, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I gotta go open this door. Give me 1 second. No, whenever I've texted you. o'clock I fell asleep. I woke up at like 6. But I'm about to get off real quick, but give me 1 second. Now y'all can hear me? How the fuck do I unpause this shit on TikTok? Oh. Yeah, so alright, I'm back. But yeah, I think gold actually just did break that level. Yeah, we just broke this support level. So I do think gold is just gonna run. I don't see gold. There's no resistance. You feel me? But you said, I'm gonna show you this how I find my entries on the 1 minute, and then after that I'm out of here. But again, you guys gotta understand what levels are and where to find these levels, right? Anytime price moves sideways, that to me is a key point that I want to mark out, right? So you hear me, Rush? Anytime price moves sideways and I know we're in a downtrend, but we're going up, I want these levels to be broken, right? You see how we move sideways here, right? And then we move sideways again right here. So I want these levels to be broken. So again, I would have top ticked this because, as a matter of fact, I did top tick this. I'll send it in the Discord. Here we go. In a minute. Now, I literally took the trade right. Hold on, let's see. Yep, I took it. Matter of fact, I almost top ticked this one. We actually took this trade right here. Why are we getting a retrace? Oh yeah, we're gonna get a retrace. Right, but again, all I'm doing is waiting for price to move sideways, which is our support. Once it breaks it and retests it, I'm just taking my entry right here and going lower, right? But I didn't take that. I took it right here. Sorry. Yeah, I took it right here. Right? Price, you see what I'm talking about? Price came down, breaking this low right here. It comes back up, and it basically stays underneath this resistance. You guys see? This is my resistance. Price came underneath of it, creating a new level of support. It comes back up, but it doesn't go higher. This is my entry right here. Right? And then we just continue to go lower, right? So that is kind of how our top tick on 1 minute is. I just wait. Again, this is our support. This was our resistance. Right? Price broke under. This is our resistance right here. Price broke underneath of it. Comes back up, taps it. So you literally could top tick this shit, bro. Just by coming down to the 1 minute and waiting for price to break our minor levels. And then look how small my stop loss is, 30 ticks, right? So $300, and then we fucking melt to the downside. This is what, like a 12 RR, 13 RR. You see what I'm saying? But look at this movement. This is crazy. This is crazy movement, bro. Yeah, I hope that helped. But if price comes back above this level, let's go to a higher time frame real quick. Yeah, you guys see? This was the support level right here. If price goes back above this level, and then we're probably going to be consolidating for a long time. And that's not what we want. So I actually might just close me in profits because I'm just not about to fuck with Asia session. Again, this honestly, we're getting a nice rejection, bro. I might add some more contracts. I'm talking about closing a trade and then fucking about to enter. I'm not gonna lie, use a 5 minute to enter. Yeah, so I like using the 5 minute, and I just wait for price to confirm. But again, like right now, if we take this trade right now, look at this wick. So I'm basically, you too funny, bro. I know, right? I'm about to tell myself I'm gonna close this trade, and I see we get a rejection, and I want to hop in this trade now. Because again, look, we know under this level we should be bearish. So where are we getting our correction? We're getting our correction back to this level. So if price holds, which honestly I don't even fucking care if it holds. I just take the trade. Like that's just really how I've been doing it lately. Because I guarantee this shit is a fib level. Look. Look, bro, take the trade, bro. Everybody take this trade. Take this trade right the fuck now. There's no way this shit isn't gonna hold, bro. We literally just made a lower low, right? We just made a lower low. Right, so we're coming back up for retracement. So we have our indication, our correction. We have hella volume. Why do we have so much volume right now? Asia session ripping right now. You've been in it for an hour now? Yeah, I've been in this trade since. What time did I take this trade? 2, 3, 4, 6. I've been in this trade since 3, 3, 4, 6. I caught this. Look, bro, I literally caught this shit right here. 3, 3, 4, 6, 5, 4. 3, 3, 4, 6, 5, 4. Right here. 200. Why did you take on your account? 3, 3, 4. 3, 3, 40. Okay, so you got in a little bit lower. That's still a good trade though. Yeah, you still got in at a good entry. 3, 3, 4, 2, 8. We're just testing. Okay, okay. Still a good entry. And again, these pullbacks have to happen. Every time we make a lower low, like just look at this shit real quick, and then I'm gonna get off. But you see what I'm saying? Every time we make a new lower low, what do we get? A retracement, right? And then we get a lower low, so we're getting a retracement. Every single time we created a lower low, we always got a retracement. So I'm not really stressing these retraces right now because that's how the market has to move. And as you can see, look at this selling pressure, guys. Right? We're getting a lot of selling pressure. I hope this isn't. Is this New York low? Hold on, where's New York session low? Oh, that could have been a crazy look. You posted? Yeah, I'm posting this live. Yeah. Yo, this is another thing. Be careful. Look, this is New York low right here. Right? Look what we just did. We grabbed New York low, and price is just so bullish right after that, right? So again, I'm having I took this trade up here, so my stop loss is right here, just so I'm in profit. But we don't want this. Let me go to the 4 hour. Yeah, I'm gonna put my stop loss right here on this 4 hour because if price goes above this 4 hour candle, and then we're smacked, right? But it did just grab New York's liquidity, which what does price like to do? It likes to take liquidity and then go in the opposite direction. You feel me? So this is New York high. So what's gonna happen, right? Is that if this is New York low and we just grab liquidity, price, well, we are rejecting this level, which is a good thing. But if price wanted to, it could come up and take our liquidity and New York session and then just stay in this range until London session, and then London session will give us our breakout, right? So that is why, again, I definitely don't trade Asia session as much because of this bullshit right here, right? We literally just had a nice breakdown to the downside, and then what did price do? Price just like retraced on us and is holding at this level. So, and it's crazy. I'm entering again. Fuck it. Fuck it. I ain't no pussy. I really top tick this shit to the T. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I'm selling this shit, bro. We're still in a downtrend. There's nothing giving us out of a downtrend. In the 4 hour, in the 1 hour, in the 2 hour, we are still in the downtrend, right? So no risk, no worry. That's facts, bro. I'm not here to play games, bro. I'm here to get rich, right? Again, we need a lower low, right? We literally rejected this level. So the only thing that look, you see how look at this shit right quick. Look how long we're in the 1 hour time frame, right? So once price made a lower low, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It took 10 hours for price to retrace to go lower, and then it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, over 12 hours for price to hit its lower low, right? So price retraces for 5 hours, and then it's gonna make its lower low hopefully within the next couple hours. You know what I mean? Well, pardon me, maybe the next 8 hours. So we're hoping that London will carry out this position. It is definitely a worrisome position only because the liquidity grab with this long ass wick. That's the only problem that I'm having. But I'm not scared to risk this trade only because I'm already in this position from up here. So if I take this entry here and I get stopped out right here, I'm still up crazy. You know what I mean? So I'm not really worried. You know, and look, on the 1 hour, we're getting EMA crossover right now. So the 1 hour is already showing that we're bearish. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm hopping in, bro. I'm actually gonna hop in pretty heavy. I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna do 30 lots, which isn't as heavy as I normally do, but it's heavy. Okay, I did 60. But yeah, I'm out of here, fellas. This is it. Let's see where this fib retracement lands real quick. You know what I mean? Like, we do have a fib level right here. Right price, we came to it perfectly. So we might get some, you know what I mean? Again, Asia session was bad, guys, right? So we'll have to wait until New York, until late Asia, early London, which again is after midnight, in order for us to get some more movement. So if you guys are not going to take this trade, and then just put an alert and come back around 1 o'clock and see what price action is doing. You know what I'm saying? And then we go from there. But we just made a lower low. I don't think we're gonna go make higher highs. And if we do start to create higher highs, it's only to grab more liquidity so London can come in and push us lower. Because as you can see, look, we started to create higher highs, we broke this high, and then price came lower, and we make a lower low. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, glad I got to join the line today. Helped us. Yeah. Again, if y'all need any help, send a DM, send that shit into the Discord, and we will make sure that we're clarifying. Is this support? Yeah, it is a support level, right? So I'm not really tripping, bro. I know price wants to reject. Right, we have this resistance right here, right? We have 4 hours, an hour resistance right here. Price fell beneath it, and now it's just retesting this level right here. So if I do it in the 1 hour time frame, look, this 705 level is literally with this resistance level right here, right? So I'm getting 70% win rate, 700 trades, and I won over 500 of them. And I posted it in the Discord for you guys that want to see it. You see what I'm saying? So I got more faith in this than anything. Like, how many trades did I take? Longs. I take more shorts than anything. I didn't even realize that. 70% of my trades are shorts. That's crazy. Here I go right here. I got a 79% win rate on gold. I got a 7, I got, well, okay, yeah, I got a 79% win rate on gold. That's crazy. The other USD, JPY, Euro USD, and AJ is the other three assets that I traded, and they are 50-50. The other one is 71, and then the other one is a 90% win rate. But regardless, my profit factor for USJPY is 12. The highest is 10. I don't even know how I'm 12. That's crazy. I just want to find this one stat, and I don't know where it went. Yeah, you know how these Asians do, bro. Every night we always say the same shit. I don't know why we always try and do some shit during Asia session. Yeah, look, I have 725 trades and we won 518. That's insane, bro. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I think it's a good entry. I really don't believe that we're gonna go lower. I mean, that we're going higher. All right, we are rejecting this level pretty strong. Right, we still have a higher high here. Right, stop loss of these highs. I don't see us retracing that much, bro. But we will see. I entered again. I did 60 lots, and I just put another 30 right now. So I'm in pretty heavy. Yeah, I think we're gonna reject. I'm going to sleep. I'll see you boys in the morning. Say no more, bro. Let me get with y'all. We out of here though. We is closing this live out. Again, you know where to find me, bro. Let me get with y'all niggas later. Be easy.